So this isn't a video that I really planned to do. I had a much better video in mind, but things change, and it is what it is. So I'm the biking Viking, and I've just had my bike stolen. Sucks. So I'm gonna ask something of you that I don't normally ask on my videos. It's not something that I really do. Most YouTubers will ask you to like, subscribe and share. So if you like the video, like it. If you want to subscribe to the channel, that's great. But the biggest one for me is the share. So if you're gonna share any video from my channel, this is the one. Because I'd like to track my bike back down again. I would like to see it once again. So this might help by sharing it out. I'm going to show a picture of my bike, what was stolen, as much detail as you can see from the picture as well. And then hopefully someone somewhere out there is going to spot it, get in contact with me, let me know. So you've just had your bike stolen and I want to help you. So this is my guide to what to do in the event of your bike being stolen. So step number one is contacting the police. The reason we do that is we want to create an incident number, which might come in handy if we have the bike insured, because then we can hand those details to the insurance company. But also it's to get the bike recognised that it's stolen straight away by the authorities. Now I know a lot of people will say, oh, it's pointless, police don't do anything, but you'll be amazed at what can be done and the sort of bikes that can be recovered. So it might not be an instant return, but there has been a lot of stories of, you know, kind of months down the line that a bike reappears, it resurfaces somewhere. They maybe done a raid of a place that they suspected of other things and your bike happens to be in there. So don't lose hope is the first one. Contact the police. And when you contact the police, you want to give them as much information as possible. So it gives them a hand, and it also sticks out in their memory as well if you give them a lot of detail. So when it happened, how they got in, if you have times for it, stuff like that. Now in my situation, it happened overnight, so I couldn't give a very specific time for when it happened, but I could give them an idea, which means that they have a chance of having a look at CCTV if it's in the area. Maybe a neighbour has the Ring doorbell system. So there's a lot of things that they can go on by a lead. So if you can narrow the time down, that helps. As part of giving a statement to the police, you'll need to give a description of the bike as well. So be as detailed as possible. If you're a big fan of mountain biking and it's your pride and joy, you're going to know a lot about the bike off the top of your head. But it's worth having photographs. So you could describe it all you like to the police, but if you've got photographs to show the bike, that's a lot easier for them to use and also identify your bike. They can advertise your bike on their Twitter accounts, on the various social media outputs, so their Instagram for example, and they can spread the information out. And what that does is it stops it being moved so easily. So first thing we're going to do is, the bike has been stolen, we'll want to limit its ability to be moved on easily. So we don't want to reward them for taking the bike in the first place, we want to make it difficult. Step number two is to get in contact with your insurance if you have some. That'll help. Obviously financially it will replace the bike. Obviously it's not your bike, but it does mean that you're not stuck without one. Step number three is to get in contact with the bike registration companies. You can register your bike as stolen with them, and it also helps narrow down the net. Step number four is to hit social media hard. So any groups that you're part of, mountain biking groups, even if it's not, say you're part of a local walking group or hill walking groups, get it out there. Pictures of it, contact details, get it out there so that it makes it very difficult for them to move it on and sell to someone. So the last part, part 5, is keeping up the hope and keeping searching. So keeping a lookout in the various places where the bike may appear. So your local biking trails, for example, if it's someone local that stole it, it may pop up there. Have a look at Sunday markets and car boot sales, for example, is a good place that they pop up. But also you have places like Facebook, Pink Bike, Gumtree, Greg's List, all this sort of thing. There's a lot of places where it can pop up. So there's some sites are better than others. and you can actually set up keywords that will trigger. So for example, my bike's a Santa Cruz Bronson. I have now set up an alert for any time there's anything listed as Santa Cruz or Bronson, or any component that's quite distinctive, like the Fox forks, for example. So keep an eye out, keep scanning around. Don't get too obsessed because it can get quite depressive looking. But yeah, keep an eye out on these places and see if it pops up. So hopefully I'll be able to re-record this video with good news. But unfortunately for now, my bike is stolen. It is gone. Heartbreaking as it is, that is us. Good luck. I want to give a big shout out and thanks to the supporters and people that I'm obviously in personal contact with, and for people, complete strangers that I've never met before. I've obviously been sharing the bike on social media to get it out there, but been overwhelmed with the support from people that have wanted to give money for me, for example, give spare parts to build another bike, or at least get me back on my feet again. I had to decline. It felt like, obviously it's charity, and I feel very difficult, you know, kind of taking money for essentially a negative thing. So I wanted to change it into something more positive. So I've set up now for the channel is a buy me a coffee link, so you can go on there if you want to donate to the channel or support the channel. You can follow the link there. I want to be positive with it. I want it to be a more positive outcome. So supporting the channel gets me motivated, gets me kind of buzzing again for getting back into mountain biking when the opportunity comes up. So thanks for the support, and hopefully see you back in the trail soon. Ciao.